let's get into tonight's show and the start of week 2 of the Donald Trump presidency.
Chaotic scenes erupting at airports around the world.
Protests all across the country
Denounced President Trump's temporary ban on travelers from 7 mostly Muslim countries.
Lawyers descending on airports.
Chaos and confusion.
Is this the America that we believe in? Is this liberty?
Do you understand how insane this is? People in the airport were pissed, and it's not because they're at the airports. Welcome to Trump's America. That's how bad the Donald is. No matter how bad the situation you're in, Donald Trump can always make it worse. Like, there could be people trapped in an earthquake and still they'd be going, I can't believe Donald Trump's new policies! That guy was the lucky one! It's official, people. This weekend, Trump signed an executive order putting his so-called Muslim ban into effect. And I know most of you already know what's in it, but just for the one person who doesn't understand it fully, let's take the time to explain what the ban means. Hey, Donald. I know you don't actually write or read any of those boring papers, so let me explain to you what you did. You banned everyone from 7 Muslim countries from entering the United States. Even though you said your ban was to protect America from outside threats, that ban included people with green cards. It even seemed to include dual citizens of Canada or Britain or any other country you didn't plan to ban, you silly Billy. Now go back to watching CNN. Go back. By the way, this is just real quick. This guy who was banned from the UK, his name is Zahawi, right? And he was a politician who, in the UK, used to tweet about Brexit. And he was like, we need our country back. We need to protect our borders. Brexit! And then this weekend he was like, America won't let me in because I'm a foreigner. How can Donald Trump do this? Comes around, baby. Comes around. Now, because Donald Trump put this thing together with all the consideration of a drunken Vegas wedding, it's no surprise that it ended with devastated families.
Families separated for hours, including this 5-year-old boy.
The Cleveland Clinic doctor, she was forced to leave, even though she holds an H-1B visa for workers in specialty occupations.
Hamid Darwish is a 53-year-old Iraqi. He had helped the U.S. military for 10 years in Iraq as an interpreter.
Fouad Sharif and his family, Iraqi refugees, plan to make their move to the U.S. yesterday. His family given the visa because he risked his life working with the U.S. government.
I don't know what to do because I sold my house. I quit my job.
Now, if ever there's a story of being screwed over, it's this. A man risked his and his family's life to help America's efforts in Iraq, and now he's being turned away? He can't go home. He sold his house. He quit his job. And also, because anyone going out like that, you know he burned a few bridges on the way out. Like, no one's leaving Iraq coming to America without making a show. He was probably like, Malik, who's going to America? Not you! Boom! Who's out? I'm out! Ba 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 ba. I'm out of here! He can't go back. Now, one of the advantages of being president is that you get to decide foreign policy without consulting anyone. I understand that's a perk, but only a Trump administration would fail to inform itself as to what was going on.
Sources told our Homeland Security reporter that senior-level officials at DHS did not have meaningful warning of the details.
Homeland Security scrambled to understand and enforce it.
John McCain and Lindsey Graham say they're caught off guard.
Exclusion of General Mattis.
No guidance provided to Customs and Border Protection.
What kind of a slapdash arts and crafts administration are these fools running? Think about it. Even the border officials didn't understand the ban. They had to enforce it, and they didn't understand it. They were probably asking the refugees to help them. This is like, hey, do you know what this means? Do you know what it means? And the guy was like, yeah, I think it means you should be sending me back even though I have correct paperwork. I know it just feels a little draconian. I don't want to seem like an asshole. Hey, don't worry. We all have jobs, my friend. Your job is to enforce an irrational ban. My job is to go home and die. Huh? We all have jobs. Now, if you're wondering where President Trump was when airports around the country were in chaos.
Right now, on the schedule for the president, he is hosting a family screening of Finding Dory in the White House Theater.
Shh! Don't disturb me. I don't care what's happening at the airports. I'm watching a movie about families being separated. It's hilarious. Shut up.
Who is this man? And by the way, who hasn't watched Finding Dory yet? It's 2017. This man is not fit to be president. Not fit. To comment on President Trump's immigration ban, please welcome Hasan Minhaj, everybody. I'm sorry, Hasan. I'm like, right now, I can't even talk. I can't even imagine what it's like to all of a sudden have the United States label Muslims as inherently threatening, man.
I'm not surprised. You know, in the past, America has had lots of issues with Muslims and immigration. You know, President Carter banned Iranians. Bush built a registry of immigrants from 24 Muslim countries. Obama suspended refugees from Iraq. But Trump is taking this thing to a whole new level. I mean, those other presidents were just dipping their toes in the pool. Now, Trump straight up did a cannonball and then felt up the lifeguard. And by the way, shout-outs to all my Republican friends who promised me Trump would never do this.
I don't think any of the people who are screaming at the top of their lungs thinks for a moment that that is a literal interpretation would be Muslims.
That's not a real proposal. It's not something that's going to happen.
I don't think you can take a lot of that seriously.
He's not going to ban all Muslims.
What the f***? So we are getting banned?
Well, Hasan, technically, you're a citizen, so this ban doesn't affect you.
Yet. We're on day 11, man. That's it. Where do you think this is gonna go? It's like watching the first episode of Breaking Bad thinking, oh, it's just a science teacher cooking meth. It can't get any crazier, but it does.
Well, Hasan, now, jokes aside, and this is completely true. You actually flew into JFK Airport this weekend as Trump's executive order was being implemented.
That is correct. And I was scared that I wouldn't be allowed back in.
Wow. Where were you flying in from? Were you flying from Iran, Iraq, or Syria, or?
Sacramento, California. The Syria of the West.
I mean, no, jokes aside, though, on the real, though, like, you're a Muslim person. You're seeing this happening. You must really hate President Trump right now.
Well, actually, Trevor, I'm not sure. No, because usually being a Muslim in an airport sucks. But this weekend, it was like I was the weekend. I mean, I land at JFK, I get to the arrival section, literally 3 white people run up to me, hug me, and say, "Thank you for being Muslim." I'm 31 years old. That's the first time anyone has thanked me for being Muslim.
And what did you say to them?
I said what any Muslim would say to them in that situation. Do you know where baggage claim 5 is? But how can I hate Trump right now? How do you do it? Just look at what he's done at the airport. White women were turning their scarves into hijabs. Muslims were publicly praying and people were cheering them on. Do you understand? Muslims publicly praying at the airport. Think about how crazy this is. Because of Donald Trump, people were being nice at the airport. Here's the beautiful irony. For years, Donald Trump has been terrified about the spread of Islam in America. Well, congratulations, Mr. President. Mission accomplished.
Thank you, Hasan. Hasan Minhaj, everybody. Hey there, it's The Daily Show's Trevor Noah. We have our own YouTube channel now, so please do subscribe. I'll wait, so you can... I won't even look, just because I know that's weird. Sort of like when a dog's doing its thing. You can just... Yeah, just subscribe. I won't look.